20 plants that grow even in difficult conditions. Have you ever tried to plant something in your yard or even in a pot, but the plant didn't survive? This happens to a lot of people. Too strong sun, lack of water, bad soil, or even constant wind can destroy the most fragile plants. But did you know that there are plants that can withstand almost anything? They are strong, resilient, and grow even where others give up. In this text, we will get to know 20 of these plants that are not afraid of difficult conditions. They are perfect for those who are just starting out, for those who don't have time to take much care, or for places where the climate is difficult. Let's think about common situations. Imagine a sidewalk where the sun shines all day and the earth is dry. Or a high wall where it hardly rains and the wind blows strong. Even a vase indoors, where the light is low and the air is dry due to the air conditioning. In all these places, some plants manage to live and even look beautiful. They don't need watering every day. They don't die in excessive heat, and some even like poor soils. They are plants that adapt, like those people who can live well in any situation. Let's start with plants that like sun and heat. One of them is the succulent. You may have already seen those chubby little plants that look like they're made of rubber. They store water in their leaves, which is why they can survive days without rain. They are great for small pots, rock gardens, or even for hanging on walls. Another resistant plant is the cactus. Who has never seen a cactus in the desert? It survives with very little water and a lot of sun. There are several types, from small ones to giants, like the saguaro cactus, which looks like a chandelier. If you live in a windy place, such as near the sea or in an open area, some plants are ideal. Peanut grass is one of them. It forms a green carpet on the ground, does not grow very tall, and can withstand strong winds. Another option is lavender. In addition to smelling good, it likes the sun and doesn't need a lot of water. Purple flowers attract bees and butterflies, making the garden more beautiful and alive. Now, if the problem is a lack of light, such as in apartments with few windows, some plants still do well. Zamioculca is one of them. It has shiny, dark leaves, hardly needs water, and survives in low light. Another plant that can withstand dark environments is the St. George's sword. She is famous for being almost indestructible. It can go months without water. It doesn't need direct sunlight, and it also helps to purify the air. For those who have poor soil, such as soil full of stones or very sandy, some plants are perfect. Agave is one of them. It looks like a giant succulent, with hard, pointy leaves. It grows in poor soil and can withstand strong sun. Another plant that doesn't care for bad soil is the hibiscus. It produces large, colorful flowers, even in not very fertile soils. It just needs sun and water from time to time. If you live in a place where it gets very cold, some plants can even withstand frost. The azalea is one of them. It produces beautiful flowers in spring and can withstand low temperatures. Another plant that is not afraid of the cold is the pine. It grows in cold places and adds a special charm to the garden. Even ivy tolerates the cold well and can be used to cover walls or walls. Now, let's talk about plants that grow quickly and cover large areas, such as vacant lots or hillsides. The jade creeper is one of them. It climbs fences, walls, and trees, covering everything with green leaves. Another plant that spreads quickly is lemongrass. In addition to being fragrant, it grows anywhere and helps keep mosquitoes away. For those who like edible plants, some are also resistant. Mint is one of them. It even grows in small pots, doesn't need much sun, and spreads quickly. Another easy-to-grow plant is chives. It tolerates sun and shade, doesn't need a lot of water, and can be harvested several times. If the problem is pollution, as in large cities, some plants survive even in dirty air. The dracaena is one of them. It has long, beautiful leaves, can withstand closed environments, and even helps clean the air. Another plant that doesn't mind pollution is the elephant's foot. It looks like a miniature tree and grows slowly, but is very resistant. Now, let's list these 20 plants in a simple way, so you can remember them easily. 1. Succulent. Stores water in its leaves, can withstand sun and little water. 2. Cactus. Survives in the desert, needs almost nothing to live. 3. Peanut grass. Forms a green carpet, withstands wind and sun. 4. Lavender. Smelling, likes the sun and attracts butterflies. 5. Zamioculca. Survives in dark places, hardly needs water. 6. St. George's sword. Indestructible, withstands lack of water and electricity. 7. Agave. It looks like a giant succulent, grows in bad soil. 8. Hibiscus. It produces large flowers, does not care for poor soil. 9. Azalea. Blooms in spring, can handle the cold. 10. Pine. Resists frost, adds a special touch to the garden. 11. Ivy. Grows on walls, tolerates cold and shade. 12. Jade creeper. Climbs fences, covers large areas. 13. Lemongrass. Smellful, grows quickly and keeps mosquitoes away. 14. Mint. Easy to grow, it even grows in small pots. 15. Chives. Does not need much sun, can be harvested several times. 16. Dracaena. Beautiful, withstands pollution and closed environments. 17. Elephant's paw. It looks like a miniature tree and grows slowly. 18. Aloe vera. Aloe vera. Useful for burns, can withstand sun and little water. 19. Croton. It has colorful leaves, like sun and heat. 20. Clusia. It looks like a small tree, can withstand sun and wind. These plants are like superheroes of the plant world. They don't need pampering, they don't require daily care, and they still make the environment more beautiful. If you are starting to grow plants, or if the place where you live is not very favorable, these are great options. They prove that, even in difficult conditions, life always finds a way to grow. To summarize, if the sun is strong, choose succulents, cacti, or agaves. If wind is a problem, plant peanut grass or lavender. For dark places, Zamioculca and St. George's sword are perfect. If the soil is bad, hibiscus and agave will do the trick. In the cold, azalea and pine resist. And if you want something quick, jade creeper and lemongrass grow easily. With these plants, even those who have no experience can have a beautiful and healthy garden. Just choose the ones that best suit your space and let nature do the rest. Now that you know some resistant plants, it's important to remember that even the strongest ones need some basic care to develop well. Just because they survive in difficult conditions doesn't mean they don't deserve attention. For example, succulents and cacti love sun, but overwatering can rot their roots. The secret is to let the soil dry completely between waterings. The St. George's sword, which can tolerate dark places, doesn't need much water. Once a week or even less is enough. Another valuable tip is to observe how the plant reacts to the environment. If the leaves start to turn yellow or wilt, it could be a sign of too much water, lack of light, or even strong wind. In this case, adjust the location or frequency of watering. Plants like peanut grass, for example, spread quickly and can suffocate others if they are not pruned from time to time. Lemongrass, in addition to growing easily, also repels mosquitoes, so it is a great choice for those who want practicality and extra benefits. If you live in an apartment or have little space, don't worry. Many of these plants adapt well to pots. The Zamioculca, for example, looks beautiful in a corner of the room and hardly needs care. Hibiscus, even in a pot, blooms beautifully if it receives direct sun for a few hours a day. And lavender, in addition to resisting the wind, also perfumes the environment and attracts bees, helping to pollinate other plants. For those who like a more natural garden, some of these species can be planted directly in the ground. The jade creeper, for example, quickly covers walls and fences, giving a space a special charm. The pine, even in cold climates, grows slowly but steadily, without requiring much maintenance. And the azalea, with its colorful flowers, brings life to even the darkest corners of the yard. The great thing about growing hardy plants is that they teach patience and resilience. Even if you forget to water for a few days or the weather changes suddenly, they remain firm, showing that nature is full of tricks to survive. And the best part, over time, you will gain confidence to try other species, creating a garden that is increasingly diverse and full of life. So, whether you're starting out or already have experience, don't be afraid to test it out. Choose one or two plants from the list, observe how they adapt to your space and adjust their care as necessary. Over time, you will realize that even the most unlikely places can be transformed into a green and welcoming corner. After all, nature always finds a way, and now you know how to help too. And you don't need to be an expert to be successful with these plants. Many of them grow well even in small pots, such as cactus or succulents, which fit perfectly in an apartment window. Others, like aloe vera, in addition to resisting strong sun and lack of water, also have practical uses. The gel from its leaves helps soothe burns or insect bites. It's like having a natural medicine always on hand. If you live in a windy place, like near the beach or in an open field, plants like peanut grass or evergreen are great options. They not only withstand the wind but also help hold the earth together, preventing erosion. In areas with poor or stony soil, species such as cactus or St. John's wort do well without needing fertilizer or many nutrients. Another advantage is that many of these plants attract birds, butterflies, and bees, making your space more lively and colorful. Lavender, for example, in addition to resisting heat, exudes a delicious perfume and attracts pollinators. The St. George's sword, in addition to purifying the air, is almost indestructible. Even those who don't have time to take care of plants can keep it looking beautiful. And if you think that resistant plants are ugly or dull, you are wrong. Many have vibrant flowers, leaves of different colors or curious shapes. Kalanchoe, for example, releases clusters of pink, red, or yellow flowers even with little water. The crassula, also called the happiness tree, forms a mini trunk and shiny leaves that appear to be made of wax. The secret is to start slowly. Choose a plant that matches the climate in your region and observe how it reacts. If she's happy, add more little by little. Over time, you will better understand what each one needs and how they can transform even the most difficult corners into a little piece of nature. And the coolest thing is that, even on days when everything seems complicated, looking at them reminds you that persisting is worth it. After all, if a little plant can survive the scorching sun or lack of water, why wouldn't we be able to face our own challenges? Here are some more plants that resist difficult conditions and can be great companions for those who are starting out or live in places with difficult climates. Aloe vera, for example, is almost indestructible. It can withstand strong sun, little water, and even has a gel inside the leaves that helps heal burns and hydrate the skin. It's like having a natural medicine always on hand. Another strong plant is the agave, which looks like a giant star on the ground. It grows in stony soils and needs almost no care, as well as adding a special charm to dry gardens. If you live in a windy place, lavender might be a good choice. It not only resists the wind but also releases a delicious scent and attracts bees and butterflies. Rosemary, in addition to being an herb that adds flavor to food, can withstand sun, heat, and even periods without water. It's perfect for those who want to always have fresh seasoning nearby without much work. For those who like flowers, vinca is a great option. It blooms all year round, even in poor soils and little water, and its flowers can be white, pink, or purple. Another resistant flower is the gazania, which opens its colorful petals only when the sun shines, as if it were a natural clock. It doesn't care about heat or dry soil and still puts on a show of colors in the garden. If the problem is the cold, the evergreen is a plant that can withstand frost and even snow. Its leaves become hard and resistant, as if they were made of leather, and it can last for years without much care. The Buddha pine, despite its name, is a small plant full of personality. It grows slowly, but can withstand sun, wind, and even city pollution. The coolest thing about these plants is that they don't require much, but they give back much more than they receive. They teach that, even in bad conditions, it is possible to grow and flourish. And you don't need to be an expert to take care of them. Just observe, water from time to time, and let them show their strength. Over time, you will realize that even the most inhospitable places can become full of life. Just choose the right plants. And who knows, in the process, you might discover that you're also stronger than you thought. Here are a few more plants that survive in tough conditions and can transform even the trickiest corners of your yard, balcony, or garden. The zebra succulent is one of these resistance champions. With its white stripes and thick leaves, it looks like a plant from another planet, but it's actually super adaptable. It can withstand strong sun, little water, and even forgetting to water. If you travel a lot or forget to take care of your plants, this is a great option. All you need is a pot with holes in the bottom, some sandy soil, and that's it. It will grow happily, even if you only remember it once a month. Another plant that doesn't care about adversity is the St. George's sword. Almost everyone has seen one somewhere. It has hard, pointed leaves that grow upwards, like spears. This plant is so resistant that it survives in small pots, in low light, and even in dark corners of the house. Furthermore, it is famous for cleaning the air, absorbing bad substances. It's the perfect plant for those who want something practical and that doesn't die easily. If you live in a windy place, like near the beach or in a high-rise apartment, peanut grass could be a solution. It spreads across the floor like a green carpet and can withstand sun, wind, and even light footfalls. Unlike other grasses, it does not need frequent cutting and even produces yellow flowers that attract butterflies. It's a great option for covering vacant land or areas where other plants don't grow. For those who like flowers, Vinca is a clear choice. It bears purple, white, or pink flowers and grows even in poor, dry soils. If you plant it in a pot or bed with common soil, it will spread and color the environment without asking for much in return. Just don't leave the soil soggy, because then it could suffer. But overall, it's a plant that manages on its own. What if the problem is the intense cold? Sage is an herb that can withstand low temperatures and is also useful in the kitchen. Its leaves have a strong smell and can be used to season meats, soups, and even teas. It grows in dry soils and doesn't need much water, which makes it perfect for those who live in colder regions or with harsh winters. The most interesting thing is that all these plants have something in common. They don't need pampering to survive. They show that, even with little, it is possible to create a beautiful space full of life. And the best thing is that, by taking care of them, we end up learning a little about resilience. After all, if a little plant can grow in a forgotten pot or in dry land, why wouldn't we be able to face our own challenges? So, if you are starting to venture into the world of plants or have already tried to grow something and it didn't work out, try one of these species. Start with one or two, watch how they adapt and, little by little, you will see that even the most difficult places can be transformed into a garden. And who knows, in the end, you might discover that you have a hidden talent for gardening. And you don't need to be an expert to get started. Many of these plants even grow in small pots, in corners of the house that receive little light or on balconies where the wind blows strong. For example, the St. George sword is one of those that seems indestructible. It can withstand direct sun, shade, lack of water, and even forgetting to water for weeks. Just place it in a pot with common soil and leave it there. If you travel or get distracted, she will remain firm, as if to say, "Don't worry, I'll take care of myself." Another plant that doesn't require work is the cactus. There are several types, from round ones to longer ones, and they all love the sun. If you live somewhere hot and dry, these are perfect. Just water it every now and then, about once a month, and that's it. They store water in their leaves or stems, so they don't need much attention. And the cool thing is that some even bloom, giving a colorful touch to the environment without asking for anything in return. If you like plants that grow quickly and give a space a greener look, ivy is a great option. It spreads easily, covering walls, fences, or even hanging pots. It likes shade and doesn't need a lot of water. Just prune it when it grows too much, and it will remain beautiful. It's as if she said, "Give me a corner and I'll do the rest." And we can't forget the succulents. They are small, cute, and come in different shapes and colors. Some look like little roses, others have pointy leaves, but they all have one thing in common: they are resistant. They like the sun, but they also adapt to places with less light. Watering once a week is enough, because they store water in their leaves. If you forget once in a while, they won't die. It's like having a pet that doesn't need food every day. The coolest thing about growing these plants is that they teach us patience and observation. There is no point in forcing them, watering them every day, or worrying about them growing quickly. They have their own rhythm, and we just need to follow along. Sometimes, we even forget about them, and when we look again, there they are, stronger than before. It's as if they remind us that the good things in life also need time to happen. So, if you're thinking about starting a garden, but don't think it's possible or that it won't work, try one of these plants. Choose one that matches your space and your routine. It doesn't have to be perfect or follow complicated rules. The important thing is to start, even if it's with a small vase on the kitchen table. Over time, you will get the hang of it and discover the pleasure of seeing something grow because of your care, even if minimal. And who knows, after a while, you might be encouraged to try other, slightly more demanding plants, or even creating a green corner in your home, full of life and stories. After all, plants are not just decoration. They bring calm, joy, and even a little hope, showing that, even in the most unlikely places, life always finds a way to flourish.